While the Russia investigation focused on potential collusion between the Trump campaign and Vladimir Putin, fact of the matter is there is collusion happening in this country every single day, and it's between politicians and members of our media. Now, recently, BuzzFeed, through a Freedom of Information request, was able to obtain FBI documents regarding the Mueller probe into Russia meddling in the US election, and here's what they found. Former Trump deputy campaign chairman Rick Gates told federal investigators that Fox News host Sean Hannity tailored his shows based on recommendations from former campaign manager Paul Manafort. And again, that's according to newly released FBI memos. Gates and Manafort, who were longtime business partners before joining the Trump campaign, were later indicted in connection to their overseas work for Russian-backed politicians in Ukraine. And look, I want to be clear about something before we move on to the rest of the details of the story. This isn't about the Mueller investigation. This is about what the media's role in America is. And if you believe for a minute that there's actual journalism going on, you're wrong. When it comes to mainstream news sources, there's a lot of cooperation going on between them and the politicians that they support. Let me give you more. Previous FBI memos published by BuzzFeed News mentioned Hannity more than a dozen times. The Fox News host was a central point of contact between the president's allies who were under investigation by Mueller and Trump himself, the memo said. Manafort knew Hannity was speaking to Trump around then because Hannity would tell Manafort to hang in there, that he had been talking to Trump, that Trump had his back, and things like one of the memos said. Manafort understood his conversations with Hannity to be a message from Trump.
So, look, I do nuance on this story as well. If Hannity is backing Trump, I have no problem with that. They agree, and that's how it works. He does an opinion show. If he's talking to Trump behind the scenes, I have no problem with that. He's talking to Manafort behind the scenes, I have no problem with that. Here's where the problems begin. When you're funneling secret messages from the president to a guy who is facing charges and telling him, hang in there, the Trump's got your back, that's actually illegal. You're affecting that federal case, and you're illegally getting messages from the president who might be able to pardon Manafort to him and affecting the case. I know he's rich and he's powerful, and they'd cry and cry and cry if they ever did anything about Hannity, but I guess he's just allowed to break the law. Okay, so. Well,
Hannity would argue that he's not breaking the law, that what he's doing is sound journalism. In fact, he released a statement about this and he said, I am extremely proud of the investigative reporting that me, my radio staff, TV staff, and ensemble cast of reporters have done the last 3 years while the media mob peddled lies and conspiracy theories. This is amazing. And were proven wrong again and again, yada, 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 he goes on. But like, he referred to himself as a journalist. He thinks that he's just doing journalism here.
Yeah, how about this? Was this journalism when they found out that Hannity had told Manafort and advised witnesses in the Russia probe to, quote, bash their phones into, quote, itsy bitsy pieces? That's witness tampering, that's destruction of evidence. He later claimed that he was kidding. Yeah, you can pretend you're kidding all day long. If he was a regular person who wasn't protected by conservative crying and political tricks, he'd definitely be arrested. If you were involved in a case and prosecutors found out that you were telling witnesses don't cooperate with law enforcement and smash your phones and destroy the evidence, you would definitely be arrested. There's 0% chance that you would get away with it. But if you arrested Hannity, conservatives' heads would explode. Oh my God, this is political, we're being targeted. We should be able to destroy evidence all day long, right? You wanna make your case in court that you were kidding? Have at it, Hoss. Let's see what the context of the text messages are or the phone calls. Maybe you were kidding, that's what a trial's for. But that's clearly witness tampering.
Right, and look, he's never gonna be investigated, he's never gonna stand trial. Sean Hannity's gonna get away with it, but he's not the only one. I mean, throughout the impeachment investigation, we found all sorts of dirt on politicians like Devin Nunes, who was 100% implicated in what was happening between the Trump administration and Ukraine. And what happened to that? So Representative Nunes, did he face any consequences for that? Was he investigated for it? No, it's done, it's over. Devin Nunes is still a US representative, he's a congressman, and no one's asking any questions, and he was 100% implicated in that case, but who cares? Not a big deal.
The right wing just bully everyone else into compliance. It's maddening. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.